12 to 15 lakhs of job opportunities in the next 5 to 10 years, which is very huge.
PRS Group company. They innovate in chip design and empower skilled engineers, strengthening the India semiconductor mission and shaping the future of technology. They deliver cutting-edge VLSI solutions, transform ideas into silicon, and bridge academia with industry, empowering the next generation to lead India's semiconductor revolution.
You shouldn't switch an organization between the 3 to 5 years time frame. First 1.5 years is where you are trying to be competent, and the next 1.5 years is you are actually going to be competent.
How AI is going to affect VLSI field?
Definitely, it can't take over at least semiconductor ecosystem for at least another 10-15 years.
So, what are the common mistakes that maximum students are doing during the interview?
So one common mistake is focusing too much on tools instead of concept. And another one is overloading the resume with all the technical words without being able to explain them in depth. VLSA, when you look at, is not an overnight success. It's a craft. If we feel that AI is going to take over, we'll master AI.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to VLSI Point. So, for today's podcast, I have invited Mr. Ranjith Kumar TC, the director of PRS Group Company. He is the alumni of MNIT Jaipur and has 25 plus years of experience in VLSI domain. With growing semiconductor ecosystem in India, VLSI becomes the first priority for students. But there are a lot of confusions. How to start career in this domain, how to develop skills in VLSI. And that is why I have decided that Ranjit sir would be the perfect fit to guide us and to provide a clear roadmap. Just keep your notebook and pen because this podcast is going to give you the hidden facts about VLSI and the right strategy, the correct approach how to enter in this industry. Watch this podcast if you are interested in VLSI. Watch this podcast if you are confused about choosing a specific domain in VLSI. And use this podcast to plan your next 10 years in VLSI domain. So now you have a clear idea what is this podcast about. So clear all your doubts as a VLSI enthusiast, as a school or college students, and enjoy VLSI Point podcast featuring Ranjith Kumar TC. Hello, Ranjith sir. Welcome to VLSI Point. We are truly honored, sir, that you are here and going to share your 25 plus years of experience. We are eager to know a lot from you, sir. So thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you, so Sweta. I'm glad to be part of this session as well. As your focus is towards bringing up the skill of an engineering graduate, definitely I'm happy to be part of this session. Thank you so much for the invite.
Yes, sir. So, sir, as you have 25 plus years of experience, you have worked in different VLSI based companies. Now you are working as a director in PRSsemicon. So, sir, I would like to ask before starting the podcast, like how VLSI industry is growing in India.
That's a very good question. So when you look at semiconductor, it's a buzzword for the entire world currently. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So now India's focus is towards semiconductor as well. So somewhere around in 2020 is when India wanted to be the hub for the entire world, semiconductor hub for
Right.
the entire world. With that vision, what they did is under MITI, they formed a separate division called as ISM. Probably you know about that, India Semiconductor Mission.
Mission,
So
yeah.
this division's primary focus is on the semiconductor ecosystem,
Mhm.
and not just in one domain. They are focusing on all the ecosystem of the semiconductor design, fabrication, and assembly as well. And we are currently successful in bringing up over 12 plus semiconductor ecosystem based companies within India. And we
That's
have ATMP
nice.
plants set up in Telangana, we have in Chennai, then we have in
Mhm.
Gujarat as well by Micron and Foxconn. And also, we are planning to build our own manufacturing capability, which is going to be set up in Assam. It's a really excellent move. Though we missed this race somewhere in the 1980s,
Mhm.
after some decades, we are back on track, and definitely we'll be making the hub for the entire world.
Yes, sir, definitely. So, sir, please tell something about your company, like what kind of service or product it is providing, and how you guys are seeing this VLSI world, and what's your expectation from a candidate?
Oh, definitely, yeah. So when you look at our organization, it's a group company. PRS Group is a group company
Mm-hmm.
with the three semiconductor ventures. So one is called as PRSsemicon Technologies, other one is Spec to Chip Semiconductors, other one is Semicon Academy. So at PRSsemicon, our focus is on providing solutions from specification to GDS2 to our global customers.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Spec to Chip specializes focus on product solutions from specification to delivering a chip, which is more of an end-to-end solution in the VLSI front. Then
Mm-hmm.
Semicon Academy primarily focuses on building the capability of all the passionate engineers who wanted to be part of the VLSI industry,
Mm-hmm.
whereby we not only provide the knowledge and skill, we also make them competent enough to be part of the semiconductor industry. So we
Hmm.
train them and we hire them as well. So these are the three semiconductor or rather semiconductor related companies that we have within PRS Group company.
So, sir, I have one doubt. Like many students are asking, semiconductor industry is growing in India. It is booming. Like by 2026, it is going to touch, I think, $65 billion. But when it comes to job openings or hiring, then students are not able to secure a job in VLSI domain easily. And then they came to think that if this industry is growing, then why we are not able to get a job? So when they can expect a mass hiring kind of thing in semiconductor industry.
Yeah. So unlike software, there's a huge difference in our industry, right? VLSI, when you look at VLSI, and we do understand that when you look at more of any job portal that you look at,
Hmm.
that could be a Naukri or a LinkedIn or any job portal that you look in, all the VLSI companies always have a criteria. It's not about the percentage. It's about the experience, right? They put
Hmm. Yeah.
about 2 years. So the actual reason behind is when you look at a company hires a VLSI engineer or a fresher into the company, it
Hmm.
takes about 1.5 years for that engineer to become a uh, productive employee for the organization.
Right.
Until then, this organization has to invest on building the capability, which includes they are providing the systems, the tools, access, and the support from the peers to guide them and mentor them. Right, all
Hmm.
these has a lot of investment from the organization front. That is also a primary reason why VLSI companies do not go directly hire a fresher. And other bigger reason would be the skill gap. Yeah,
Hmm.
when you look at the colleges or engineering graduates or the MTech graduates, whatever they study during their engineering days, have knowledge. Whatever they gain there is called as knowledge, right? They have minimal exposure to digital logic design or digital electronics, even very low for the matter. They have a very minimal exposure to it. When
Yes.
they come to the open market in terms of looking for a job, they have a big challenge there. Whatever they gained is a knowledge. They do
Hmm.
not even know what exactly it is relevant to the real world applications, right? So
Right.
this is one of the biggest challenge. So
Hmm.
no, from my point of view, an engineering graduate should have a knowledge and the skill, which is the first step. Other important focus is the competency. How good you are technically. Your
Hmm.
fundamental should be strong. Your foundation should be strong, which starts from electrical, electronics, microprocessor or microcontroller. Any domain which is required for the VLS industry, you need to have the foundation strong. Without the strong foundation, it is not so easy to enter into VLSA, and you will have to build the competency also. Now most of the colleges have access to the tools. They have to try to work on those tools, gain the knowledge, work on complex circuit, design something on their own, understand how these chips are designed and why are they designed. Basically, they'll have to apply the 5 Ws. Where it is used, what is it used for, why is it used, how it is
Hmm.
used, which way it is used. So all these
Yeah.
5 Ws are very important. To gain the to gaining the knowledge alone is not important. It's equally
Hmm.
important for them to understand the real world scenarios too.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So and the engineers are asking, why don't they hire in bulk? Definitely, it'll be a big challenge when they hire in bulk. Unlike as I was saying, unlike software industry, we can't hire in bulk and train them in 2 months or 3 months, which is highly impossible.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it takes that amount of time. There is no shortcuts to VLSI. There is no
Correct.
short time frame wherein you can become a VLS engineer in a 3 month or a 6 month. Definitely it takes time. It requires time.
Yeah, and I think that is why VLSI is very different from IT. Because in IT,
Absolutely,
if we are doing 2, 3 months courses, we can improve a lot. But that is not the case in VLSI.
absolutely. So this is why I was saying, right? So knowing and electrical is also important when you for you to enter into VLSI, because there are lots of chips which is interconnected and on a PCB. You
Interconnection.
need to know what is the role of an electrical in a chip. Then you need to
Mm-hmm.
know about electronics, whereby you will know about flip flop, CMOS, and basically the characteristic of a transistor or a diode. You need to know about it. So
Mm-hmm.
these knowledge they don't gain much in college. Digital electronics is another paper where they can score easily and get marks. So
Mm-hmm.
they leave it off in the third semester, right? After that, they don't even touch digital electronics.
Yeah, true.
That is not covered throughout the engineering, which is very important for them.
One more thing, sir, I have observed. Many candidates have joined in my one-to-one sessions who are currently working in a product-based companies, but their task is like a kind of repetitive one. Like either they are in verification or something. So they are working from last 2, 3 years, but they are not able to learn anything new. And now they are planning to switch into a product-based company or a kind of good company. So, being a recruiter, what's your expectation from a 2+ years of experienced candidate or 3+ years of experienced candidate? How they guys can easily switch?
Yeah, so my personal suggestion would be you shouldn't switch an organization between the 3 to 5 years time frame, because in our industry specific to VLSI, it takes
Yes.
that amount of time for you to I won't say master, because mastering is it'll take about 10-15 years at least, right? When you look at
Yeah,
the
right.
VLSI, being a pioneer in the VLSI, it takes longer time, 2 to 3 years. So when you look at first 1.5 years is where you are trying to be competent, and the next 1.5 years is you are actually going to be competent, whereby you're working on a project, you're working on tools, you're collaborating with multiple teams, and you're doing your task. This is the right set of time frame for you. That 3 years you will have to be patient. And again, patience is the biggest thing for your success in VLSA. Yeah,
Yes.
if you can spend the 3 years in any organization, irrespective of product or service, that's not going to make a difference. The difference is your capability. Are you capable enough? Because we have interviewed several people who have worked with many bigger organizations for 2 years, both service and product. I'm talking about 2 years or a 3 year exposure. The basics of digital electronics they forget after that 1.5 years,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if I ask them to design something, no, in terms of complex combination circuit or any sequential circuit, or if I ask them to draw something, they are unable to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a big challenge for them. They have to understand that just having the 2 years experience doesn't make them a VLS engineer. They need to gain more. Yeah, but if they spend another 3 to 5 years there, then the value of them is based on their competency. Definitely, they are valued after 5 years. So
Yeah.
personally, I wouldn't suggest anybody to switch an organization within that first 3 years. Definitely, it'll be challenging for them, because that is when they are learning the entire process of the design ecosystem from
Mm-hmm.
specification till delivering a GDS2. They need to know the entire process. Just doing your role alone might not help. Yeah, though being a generalist is very good, but you need to understand what is the role of an RTL engineer, what is the role of a design verification, then where does DFT come? Basically, the entire integrated circuit design flow they'll have to understand properly.
Yeah, actually, many students have this mindset that they should apply in product-based companies. It is always good to start career from there. Service-based companies are not good or something like that. But sir, what I personally think in VLSI, it's a very good opportunity to enter in a service-based company or a startup to start your career. So, what's
Absolutely.
your opinion, sir?
Absolutely true. I agree with you. So, irrespective of no the kind of domain they're into, maybe a product or a service or even the startup is the best place for them to learn, because
Yeah.
they'll grow with the organization. Yeah, and when you look at all the startups which India has currently, have a very good set of senior management team, from the leadership team till the experts who are part of us, like our organization, right? We have about 20 plus experts who are supporting us in terms of building this capability as well. Yeah, so that experience matters a lot. Though we are a startup and a growing company, our backup in terms of expertise is very good. Wide range of expertise are the average experience that we have in our team in terms of the leadership team is about 20 plus years of experience, which is a good
Yeah.
exposure for a people to be part of a startup. Yeah, definitely startup is a very good step for them to enter, provided the foundation is very strong, because startup definitely it is a big challenge for startups also, right? Because they're starting up and in a growing phase, they look for people who are at least fundamentally or foundationally a bit stronger
Hmm.
for us to hire. Yeah, definitely. It's not about a product or a service or a startup, wherever you go, put in your 100% in terms of gaining the knowledge first, then developing its skill, and then making yourself competent to do a project. That takes some amount of time. Patience is very important.
Any suggestion from your side to those students who are interested to start their own startup in VLSI? Like in which
Yeah, so
domain they can start, or how they should approach to other companies for collaborations, so how they can start.
yeah, so my personal suggestion here would be before they are coming out of the college, they'll have to gain proper knowledge and skill in terms of what the VLSI domain is all about, which includes knowing the tools, working on a tool, or even mastering the foundational requirement of digital electronics, Verilog system, Verilog, or EVM, or a PD or a DFT, whichever domain they feel they want to be part of. They'll have to ensure that they know about the domain, the
Mm.
foundation is strong there, and then they try to do some basic project work in terms of the VLSI design front. And then nowadays there are several incubation cells, who can support them in terms of, if you give them idea, if you come out with some ideas, definitely there are many incubation cells within India who can guide them and support them as well. Also, our government is encouraging startups within India as well. So definitely there are many mentors who can guide them and support them. It's a good opportunity. But another thing, when you look at when we are talking about experience, right? If they are not going to gain that 3 4 5 years of experience, definitely it'll be a bit more challenging for them to understand and work in a real world task. Yeah, though they can identify the requirement of the current world, or when you look at real case scenarios whereby they might have to design some chips, without understanding the ecosystem, they won't be able to design a chip. Definitely they will have support, but definitely their involvement will be much lesser when compared to the experts advice they're going to get. Yeah, I would suggest them to gain that exposure at least for 3 to 5 years. Then definitely they can look upon. Otherwise, we'll still have an option of approaching an incubation shell with their ideas and the solution that they are going to provide. Definitely, they might get support from the government as well.
So different domains are there in VLSI, like RTL design, verification, physical design, DFT. So these things usually creates a confusion among students, like which domain to choose, which one be a good fit for them, where they can get a higher package. So, sir, what is your suggestion? How a
That's
student
nice.
should decide a suitable domain for them?
Yeah, absolutely. Even we have this challenge. Okay, when we hire people, the freshers, basically, when you look at the training aspect, uh, so every domain within the VLSI space has equal importance. RTL or design verification or PD or DFT, they have their own roles to play, right? So
Mhm.
how we do it here is we identify the skills of each individual. Uh, so when you look at, some people are good at system Verilog and Verilog, so they can be part of design. They can also be part of verification. And one verification, when you look at verification, DV, they have an additional step of learning about UVM, right? So
Yes.
UVM they'll have to learn. So these two, definitely it's very easy for us to identify during the course of their journey with us. When you look at specifically look at a fresher, right? So if they are good in their digital electronics, then if they are good in say Verilog or a system Verilog, based on that, we suggest them to do go for RTL or a design verification. Say if someone is not that good in Verilog or system Verilog, though they know about Verilog and system Verilog, still they want to be part of the industry. Definitely, the next option would be DFT or a PD,
Right.
right? So we suggest based on the individual skill. Definitely we do gauge them, we do understand where they stand in terms of the learning aspect they do. So that is where the semicon academy comes into play. So here we identify an employee's a trainee's skill, we identify their knowledge, we identify their skill. Based on these two, they have assessments, they have assignments to do, and they have their own tasks to work on, both practically and theoretically as well. Based on these assessment, we definitely know where that individual can be placed. It could be
Mhm.
RTL or could be a design verification, could be a PD or a DFT. So now when you look at a market, open market, right? So this is specific to our organization I was talking about. When you look at open market, any engineering graduates, they might not even know what RTL is all about. They might not know what DV is all about, verification is all about, or a DFT or a PD is all about. So most of them, just to enter into VLSI, they prefer DFT and PD is more of tool based, which is ideally not wrong. Yeah, because it's smart way to think that okay, they can choose something. On a
Hmm.
longer run, you'll have to ensure that you at least know what is the basics of an RTL and design verification, so that given an opportunity to work on those domain, you will have to be adaptable too.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is my personal view in terms of choosing a domain. Yeah, every domain has its own equal importance. Now, when you look at, we are talking about digital side, right? Now, when you look at analog, analog has a huge space, huge opportunity, not just in India, even in when you look at abroad, it's a huge opportunity. But people don't enter into analog because it's much niche than digital. Both
Yeah.
when you look at VLSI itself niche, right? In the niche domain, analog is even much more niche than digital, because
Digital.
you have more of concept, you have more of logic, more of calculation that you will have to do, too much of work in the analog front. So
Yes.
people generally don't prefer analog, but when you look at the requirement or the need of analog engineers are much higher as well.
So basically, students should choose these domains as per their interest,
Absolutely
and before starting the career in any domain, first they should have a strong fundamental, like what they
true.
are
That's
going
true.
to
Yeah.
do, and then to start.
First thing is they'll have to think why they are choosing VLSA. If somebody is just choosing VLSA for money, definitely it might not work around, right?
Actually,
If
this
when you
is the
focus,
case with maximum students. Like
yeah,
everybody is thinking semiconductor is growing, so we will go in that domain. This is the case.
no, that's exactly that is what definitely it is. It has been growing. See, one thing to notice is when India started this India semiconductor mission,
Hmm.
this semiconductor word spread across every colleges, every universities, right? So people are thinking more about VLSI. VLSI has always been a bigger space in terms of work. Just that people were not aware that there was an industry called VLSI is existing. Simple word, when you look at Silicon Valley of the world,
Hmm.
Silicon is for VLSI based companies, right? So
Right.
Silicon terminology itself started for Silicon. Even when you look at Bangalore is Silicon Valley of India, it's not
Hmm.
because of software, it's because of more of VLSI based companies.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
That
they
is
need to
why
understand
we call it Silicon Valley of India.
Silicon Valley. Exactly. They
Yeah.
need to understand the difference between a software and a hardware. So
Hmm.
hardware definitely has a whole lot of importance when come to technology. Yeah. So else why do people choose ECE? So when you're into EC, when you're choosing an electrical or an electronics or an E&I, definitely you're part of the circuit branch. When you're part of the circuit branch, why don't you look for a hardware job instead of a software? Definitely there is a lot of opportunity inside the hardware. Yeah, though entering is a challenge, the challenge is because of the competency and the skill. If you have that fundamental strong, like what we was talking about, your foundation should be strong, your fundamental should be strong, and you need to understand what the industry needs as well. When you understand what the industry needs, definitely you can prepare accordingly, and you will be able to clear the rounds, interview rounds.
Right, right. Actually, 10 years ago, the scenario was different. Like when I
Absolutely.
have chosen ECE for my BTech, that time people were telling me why you are choosing this branch. You have a good rank. You should go with CSC or IT.
Easy.
You will not get a lot of opportunities. But now the scenario has changed. More and more students are approaching ECE. So, sir, what do you think? What is the future of VLSI in India? Like, if we think about 10 after 10 years. So, what will be the scenario in this domain?
I can add even more 10 years to, down the line, the next 10 to 20 years, the technology is going to grow. When you
Hmm.
look at the quantum computing or the cloud computing, every single domain or every single application, from healthcare, from medical, computers, IoT devices, AI, robotics, even look at the automobile industry, right?
Yeah,
Every single application, every single industry has a lot of dependence on VLSI, because the entire applications and these devices and the components, they run because of one or multiple components in the form of chip.
right, right.
Yeah, without these chips, definitely they are not going to function. One simple example, our mobile phone, without the chip SoC inside it, it will not function.
Not
Display is in the
possible.
form of chip. Yeah, processor is in the form of chip. Every
Hmm.
single component within a mobile device definitely is in the form of chip. When you look at television at home, fridges, washing machine, every single component. Now tell me, when the technology is growing, the focus will be on See, that is what we call it in our industry, right? PPA, power performance in area. This
Yeah.
can be done only by the semiconductor ecosystem. Yeah.
Mhm.
So when you look at the sizes of a laptop when it was centuries back and now how it is, including our mobile phones, we were using 5 MB RAMs and 64 MB RAMs.
Yeah.
Now we are using in GBs in phones I'm talking about. So
Mhm.
that is how the technology has grown. So when you look at this growth, and other aspects also I'll add on. So entire world's population, the highest consumer users, that is 70% of the electronic consumer users are Indians. 70%, which is huge in number, right? So why we are unable to do it is because most of these products are exported from other countries, which including the chips, displays, or everything. So
Mhm.
when you look at that, that is one of the major focus of India. Trying to bring the entire semiconductor ecosystem to India will give more job opportunities, not just in chip designing front alone. Will give opportunities in fabrication, will also give opportunity in assembly. So that is where government is forecasting over 12 to 15 lakhs of job opportunities in the next 5 to 10 years, which is very huge.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
And I
definitely technology is growing and VLSI will keep growing.
Mhm. And students are waiting for that time itself, like when there will
Yeah.
be a huge hiring in semiconductor field.
Yeah. By the time, our expectation would be, in terms of they getting their foundation very strong.
Mm, right. And how AI is going to affect VLSI field, like its different domains.
So yeah, because that's been a question asked by many of our employees as well as students. So when you look at AI taking over and humans' logic, see, end of day, AI is nothing but artificial intelligence, which is again built by human, right? So when you compare an AI with an HI, that is artificial intelligence versus human intelligence, we definitely always superpass their capability, because
Mhm.
whatever we are going to design is whatever is built as an AI, right?
Mhm.
Definitely, it can't take over at least the semiconductor ecosystem for at least another 10, 15 years. Probably, approximate time frame that I'm giving. It is big challenge for them. Our domain specifically involves more of logic and concept, which can't be fed into an AI. So AI, what does AI do? AI try to searches the available resources across the medium, right? Could be the Google or anywhere, anywhere it is stored. If it is not stored, they cannot fetch the data. So VLSI data are very confidential when you look at any kind of design or any kind of
Mhm.
information. Definitely, it is not stored anywhere in the cloud space. So AI fetching those data might be highly impossible.
Mm.
So definitely, AI is not going to replace a role of a VLS engineer any sooner.
Okay,
And
so
my
yeah.
personal suggestion, if AI is going to replace, see, all we have to do is adaptability, right? We'll have to change ourselves based on the demand. So if we feel that AI is going to take over, we'll master AI,
Definitely.
right? So now we have AI powered chips as well, which plays a
Mm.
very important role. So
Mhm.
we need to understand how what is the role of an AI inside a chip. So knowing and collaborating with the technology definitely is going to help us. Rather worrying, if AI takes my job. No, definitely it's not going to take your job. If you are very strong, if your foundation is strong, why will it take your job? It will not take your job.
So, what are the common mistakes that maximum students are doing during the interviews or while applying for VLSI jobs?
Yeah. So that's again a wonderful question. So one common mistake is focusing too much on tools instead of concept. Yeah.
Okay.
Tools changes, but concept
Mhm.
stays.
Mhm.
And another one is overloading the resume with all the technical words without being able to explain them in depth. Yeah. So they
Mm,
mention about too
right.
many projects, even without knowing what the projects are, they just mention it, right? And
Mhm.
sometimes the candidates underestimate the importance of clear communication. If they can't explain their project properly, definitely it shows a big gap in their understanding. So these are the common mistakes which they should be correcting. So they build the resume so fancily, even any interviewer look at it at the first glance, because resume is the first phase that they see, right? They
Mhm.
look at, okay, these guys have done so many projects, so they'll start asking questions. So it's more of revert math that what they do, right? From the
Yes.
project, they drill down to the foundation, and they understand that okay, the concept is not there. They are not aware of the concept. So
Mm,
everybody whom we interviewed also they focus more on tools, and not the concept. Yeah, tools is another support system for them, but tools is not going to do everything. Without knowing the concept, there is no point in working on a tool, right?
Yeah.
So that concept and clear communication. Communication definitely plays a very important role. Yeah, it's not about using an UK or a US accent. Definitely, it's not so. Just delivering or transforming whatever technically you know, so that the other person can understand is good enough. You
Understand.
don't have to
Yeah.
use any accent. There. You can be very neutral. Just use the proper technical word which has to be used. That is all.
So, apart from technical subjects, communication skills are also matters a lot.
Yes, it matters. It matters a lot. See, the major challenge, you know why? So depends on the colleges that they come, right? If they are from the premier institutes, definitely they have the space to build their communication as well.
Hmm.
But when you look at the tier three or tier four, definitely it'll be a bit challenging for them. Even during their college times, they hardly use English as a medium of communication, right?
Mm-hmm.
More so they are into their native language itself, which is another challenge. They are not trying to build the communication there. That's another gap during the college days. And then they even without understanding the industry or without preparing properly, they go attend an interview. First thing is they rush to answer even
Yes.
before listening, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't listen. All you have to do is just listen, understand the question, then respond. Instead, they react immediately, which is another mistake that they do make. So they'll have to handle it very patiently, understand the question. Definitely, if you don't know the answer, you can say you're unsure. That's still okay. Instead, you're trying to put something wrong and use some other statement incorrectly. Definitely, it'll show a big gap in your understanding of the concept.
So, what makes a student stand out to you when hiring for a junior role?
Yeah. So when you look at hiring a fresher or any junior role, first thing we don't look at, somebody knows everything. It's not about knowing everything, right?
Mhm.
It's about showing strong fundamental exposure, a solid understanding of digital electronics, a CMOS basics, or the hardware description language could be Verilog or a system Verilog, which is very essential. And when you look at to a larger extent, we will also check if they know something or kind of exposure towards the verification methodology, yeah, which is
Yes.
again, not everyone has it. Yeah, we do check if they have any exposure or understanding about the UVM. The most important, as I've been reiterating a couple of times, the fundamental and the foundation has to be strong, whereby you have the knowledge and you have the skill and your willingness to learn, your attitude, and your communication. So these are the keys factors that we look at.
So, sir, after a lot of discussions on VLSI, finally, I would like to ask the last question. That is, what would be the one piece of advice from your side to all those students who are willing to start career in VLSI in 2025 or beyond?
Yeah. So my advice is very simple. Focus on fundamental, practice hands-on, and be patient. VLSA, when you look at, is not an overnight success. It's a craft. Don't chase only tools. There is no shortcuts, right? Instead, build a strong base in digital or analog concept, verification methodologies, or when you look at the hardware description language, which is what the industry needs as well. So this industry is the heart of AI, 5G, EVs, and everything futuristic related to technology, right? The technology is transforming. We are into the digital world. If you stick with it, your career will not be rewarding. It will be transformational. It will be huge career growth for you. You will see it down the line in years to come. So these would be a small piece of advice from me.
Yeah, and should students prefer to join the VLSI training institutes? If they are
Yeah,
joining, then how should they plan their journey? Like, even after
yeah,
completing the course, they are not able to, get those skills and to start career in VLSI.
Yeah, so again, that's a very good question because there are about 10 to 15 plus academies in India. So choosing the right training academies plays a very important role too. So factoring and knowing how all these academies were operating over these years, that is where Semicon Academy comes into play as well.
Mhm.
So when you look at our entire process, it's more of process driven, and there are experts who are going to be part of the support system as well. Yeah. So when you look at a training academy, definitely they have short duration courses and long duration courses, right?
Yes.
So as I was saying, there is no shortcuts to VLSA. Definitely, you'll have to spend that amount of time. At least 6 months to 1 year is minimum is required for you to gain the knowledge and gain the skill as well. So both put together, I'm talking knowledge and skill, definitely. But in Semicon Academy, what we are doing is we are going beyond it. So we are also building the competency. So once a trainee completes the 6 months, he'll be put into a project. So which is a real world
Right.
project,
Mm-hmm.
right? They'll have exposure to basic project and they will have exposure to real world project too. Most importantly, they will have access to silicon proven IPs. As I was saying, right, we have our own IPs, so they'll have access to those IPs as well, which
Mm-hmm.
means they can build, verify, and work on it.
Yeah, that's
So
really
they'll
a
have to,
very.
they'll, yeah,
Mm,
yes. Instead of going as looking for a campus placement where an institute says that okay, I have 100% placement. Instead of looking that, look at what they provide as a program, which is very important. Your hands-on
mm,
experience plays a very important role. Your project plays a very important role. That is why people who are clearing our competency building, we call it as competency building program. It's a 1 year program actually. So if you're going to spend that 1 year program, definitely you will be employable candidate because you're not
yeah.
only gaining the knowledge and skill, you're also working on a real world project, which will make you unique in the market. So this plays a very important role too.
Right. Actually, most of the institutes are there in the market. They are providing similar kind of projects. Like from last 5 years, they are providing the same projects to all the
Same project,
students,
absolutely,
the
absolutely.
basic one. So
Yeah,
that is why students are in doubt which institute to join and how to judge
yeah,
which one is good.
yeah. So that's a nice question, Sweta. So when you look at all the trained freshers in the market currently, everyone will have either when you look at the RTL or the design verification one, either they will have APB or AXA as a project work
Hmm.
that everyone will have the same project work done, which is, yeah, again, gaining that exposure is good, but doing beyond is what will make them different. So that is why we are not just focusing on the basic project as well. So our trainees will also work on our IP. So we have CSI, which is a camera based interface, camera serial interface. We have
Mhm.
DSI, which is display based DSI, display serial interface. And we have PCIe projects, we have UCIe. So these trainees will also have hands on working on these projects, which will make them different. Yeah, definitely they'll have to work on the basic project. All when you look at UART or when you look at I2C or
Mhm.
AMBA based protocol, definitely they'll have to work. They'll have to understand what project is all about. Definitely they'll have to work on these basic projects too. Over and above, they'll have to have an hands-on the real world project, which will make them different.
So, apart from basic projects, then students should focus on some advanced level projects.
Absolutely. Either they'll have to do something on their own in terms of building a project. So when you look at RISC-V, right? RISC-V is again a buzzword in the world currently, right?
Hmm,
So
yes.
people definitely they also work on RISC-V. They can try their hands on working on RISC-V. And most importantly, whenever they update their projects in their resume or the CV, they will have to ensure they know everything whatever they mentioned in the CV. It's not just
Right.
for the sake of a project they don't put it. Otherwise, they won't get an even they won't get the interview call too.
Hmm, right.
Yeah,
Uh,
choosing wise academy definitely will make their career brighter and stronger too. Instead of looking at the 100%, because see, nobody can assure a job, right? Job assurance, job guarantee, nobody can give you. It is your potential, your skill, and who is guiding you, who is grooming you, and what kind of fundamental foundation that you have gained is very important too. So these
mhm.
are the focus that you'll have to see when you're going to approach an institute. Don't just look for one or two institutes, right? For example, when you look at any treatment medically that we are going to do, we don't stick on to one doctors alone. We try to check with multiple doctors as a third
Hmm,
opinion or fourth opinion, right? You
yes.
will just try approaching multiple academies, understand their working model, understand their process, understand their team behind this entire process. Will definitely help them to choose the right academy.
So, sir, it was a really very informative and eye-opening session, sir. And I think students should note down all the points which you told. like how to enter in this industry, how to choose a specific domain, and how they can expect the opportunities after 10 years. So, once again, sir, thank you so much for coming and giving this much exposure to us. And definitely, we will plan another session with you in future.
Thank you so much, Sweta. We are always happy to be a part of any session that is going to bring up the semiconductor ecosystem for India. And our vision is to support India semiconductor mission too. So we are going to be part of that mission together. And you are also playing a very important role, engaging with students, grooming them, guiding them, mentoring them too. And your exposure in the industry plays a very important role. Definitely, we can see where best we can collaborate in building the our nation's vision together. Thank you so much, Sweta.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir. Thank you so much. So, this is about today's podcast, guys. I hope you have noted down all the important points. You guys can follow Ranjit sir on LinkedIn, also the PRS Group Company. In case of any doubt, just post that in comment box. To attend one-to-one career guidance session and to get personalized roadmap, you can DM me on either LinkedIn or Instagram to book your slots. You can see here 1000 plus students have already joined this session, and most of them have joined 3 to 4 times after finding it useful. So, what are you waiting for? Just register today and follow VLSI Point for more such contents. We will meet in the next video. Till then, keep learning and stay curious.